Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. This is going to be a video on the NHL Power Rankings. I'm Sports Fanatic News. This is Joe Boric. I have done videos in the past on the NFL, NBA. I think I'm going to do one on NHL. I mostly do NFL because I think that's the one that most people, a majority of people, actually pay attention to the Power Rankings. But we'll see how people pay attention to the NHL. For a spoiler alert, the Flyers are ranked 18th, being 24-16-8 now. They did move up from last week's ranking, which put them at number 21. So they moved up where this ranking, the way that this is ranked, doesn't guarantee winning. The formula they lose doesn't guarantee winning multiple games in a row to move you up. It does an algorithm that's based off of pretty much how they would do in head-to-head matchups against some of the teams above them, and they calculate it that way and say where the team should be ranked. Basically, the Flyers, which is shocking, the reason they define them to be 18 and in the top 20 is because of the net front presence. Obviously, Wayne Simmons provides a lot of net front presence, but if I've been watching the Flyers of late, Wayne Simmons has not been really the big offensive name we've been mentioning. It's been like the Jordan Wheels of the world, the Raffles of the world, the Konechny getting hot on the first line, Voracek, G, Couturier keep doing their thing. Then Simmons pitches in here and there with some nice assists, some good goals, but he is having a good season. Wayne is. Whereas some of these other guys are having great seasons. Where I think Simmons, I don't even think he's having a bad season. Like I said, he's having a good season. I think he might not be having as fantastic a season as he had last year just because all these other guys are contributing. So sometimes when other guys start contributing and really everything's working around them and we're scoring goals that don't involve a lot of net front presence like the great shots you've been getting of late, Wayne Simmons isn't going to have as many goals. He's going to have to be the gritty guy that he always is, play decent defense, get hits, get gritty, which he has been. He's played a good season. It's just I wouldn't put him as the defined reason of why the Flyers would be in the top 20 because I would say the all-around team play of how we're playing right now would be the reason. But the good news is Pittsburgh is below us at 20. So we'll get back to those teams later, but if we're going to go, here's how they rank the teams. We have a panel of voters. These rankings reflect which teams voters think will win head-to-head matchups. Higher-ranked teams are favored over lower-ranked. A run of wins, again, doesn't guarantee a jump, and a bunch of losses in a row doesn't necessarily guarantee a fall, depending how the losses happen. They put the second best record team in the league in the Vegas Golden Knights, they said, is number one because Fleury showed remarkable comportment when dealing with that Murray situation in Pittsburgh, and to get a guy like him on an expansion team immediately is one of the better goaltenders still in the league this day. Is a great guy to have on your team, and he's a guy that even though he was injured part of the year, they were able to stay there. Now having this guy back, a lot of the analysts think Vegas is going to stay where they're at and roll into the playoffs and possibly be dangerous. Second is obviously the Lightning. Tampa has been dominating this year. Stamkos is a beast. Stamkos, actually, a fun fact, would attend shooting school when he was only 9 years old and fire about 500 pucks at a time. He was so committed to hockey since being a young kid that's why you literally see Stamkos do like a flick of the wrist on a one-timer and it's sniped into the top corner. The guy is a freak of nature. So, obviously, we'll be talking more about the Lightning later in some relevance to the shirt I'm wearing. Then they ranked the 29, 13, and 7 Jets from moving them up from 6. The Jets are one of those teams that have been one of the more. We thought they would be a solid team, but the third best team in the NHL. Come on, they're a team that really put it on this year, really done well. Dustin Byfuglien's having one of the better seasons. He's been great his whole career, but he's doing really well this year to help them. Carl Hagelin is great in the speed department, and the Jets are just starting to finally come together and become the team that Winnipeg has wanted since they got there. The Capitals, the Flyers division rival, is 28-15-5. They stayed at number 4 because Ovi's having a great season. And then Ovechkin is a guy that basically, if he can pick his spot and give him time to shoot, he's basically not going to be stopped. And if you don't believe me, St. Louis Blues goalie Carter Hutton said, I don't think it's physically possible when he picks his spot to be able to save it. He has that good of a shot. There's not many guys in the league, I think you would say that, but I think one is Stamkos, who we assessed earlier. Another is Ovechkin, obviously. And that might honestly be it. Just Stamkos and Ovechkin were the two guys that... Oh, no, I know two others now. As young guys, McDavid and Austin Matthews. You don't want those guys to have time to pick a spot either. So those would be, I think, the top 4 guys. If you give them time to pick a spot, they're almost impossible to save. Nashville is ranked 5th. Rene has been playing pretty well this year for them. And they have just been doing all well. Nashville always has a good defense. And then they facilitate enough offense to have that massively great defense to carry them over the hump. Boston's ranked 6th. Bergeron is killing it on faceoffs. Since 2012, no person has more faceoffs or has a higher winning percentage. So the Bruins are always one of those teams that win with some net front presence, having tough goals, toughing it out, and stuff like that. They've always been one of those teams that have a winning environment. So it's expected typically at this point for the Bruins to be in the top 10. St. Louis is 7th. Tarasenko's a beast. Another great young player. And then the Players Tribune once said about Tarasenko, I knew they called him Tank, but I never seen a hockey player with that kind of build that has the kind of speed he has as well. I'll add into that. John Kilberg's vision is a big reason why Dallas is doing so well this year. He's an overlooked prospect, but now he's considered a big asset. He could win a Norris this season, even by some analyst predictions. The Sharks are 10th. Pavelski, one of my favorite players that's not on our flyer, just keeps getting it done. Joe Thornton, the ageless man, keeps getting it done. Of course, they have many other great players. Their team is just coming together. Avalanche, a surprise team, moved up from 12. They're 11. The Devils are 12, who are right around the Flyers in the standings. Calgary's 13. Columbus is 14, who are right around the Flyers in the standings. The Rangers are 15, who are again right around the Flyers in the standings. The Kings or the Flyers West are 16. The Ducks are 17. Flyers are 18. Top 10 were the teams I'm really going to go in depth with. It'll take way too long to go in depth with all the other teams. Minnesota's 19. Pittsburgh's 20. Islanders 21. Blackhawks 22. Hurricanes 23, which are kind of a surprising team that they're in the mix still. Detroit 24, Canadiens 25, Canucks 26, Edmonton 27, 28 Florida, 29, Ottawa 30, Arizona, and 31 Buffalo. So congratulations, Arizona. You're the second worst team in accordance to the power rankings, not the first. This has been a look into the NHL Power Rankings for this week in the NHL. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Peace out, everybody.